you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Hey guys, welcome back. So you're here with your girl Cash Out Mary, and I got one of my best friends that we grew up with talking about sex when we had no business talking about sex, but she's here. Empress, give her a round of applause. So happy to have you on the Pussycat Chronicles bed, spilling all your tea.
Oh boy.
Yes.
I'm a little nervous, but you know.
Don't worry about it. So I'm gonna start you off how I start everyone else off. And that's just, how old were you when you lost your virginity?
Oh, right into it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was maybe 22.
You was 22? You lied to me. I thought you was not a virgin at like 16.
Girl, please.
What? No, I'm
Are you
serious.
kidding?
I'm dead ass. You said
No way.
You said I just wanted to get it over with. You was like we were like in our high school when you said that.
No way.
Empress.
No way.
Damn, this girl was lying. Dang.
I don't remember that. Who would it have been with?
I don't even know. We went to a different school.
This is true.
You was 22?
Yeah, I was 22.
Was it special?
I wouldn't call it special, but it was a close friend.
Okay.
That also became a boyfriend. But then later on, it just became like super, I'm not going to say toxic because I haven't really experienced a toxic relationship until recently.
Okay.
But it was an experience.
Wait, so let me ask you this, like, cause y'all don't know her. This girl is hard to break through these walls. Like, what made you give it to him? Like, this is my first time hearing the story, so I need to know, like, it ain't even about y'all right now.
Yeah, I thought you was acting for me.
No, I'm not. What made you give it to him, and who was it? Do I know this person?
No, you don't know this person.
Okay.
Because again, it was just my friend, like we were hanging out tough at the time.
Right.
And it was just like, hey, let me see.
Damn.
And then it was like,
And so you became your boyfriend afterwards?
Yeah. But then later on, it snowballed into like, I found out that he had another girlfriend at the time.
What? Of course. She wasn't giving up none. Oh, damn, we have fiance.
or wife. I don't know if fiance or wife, because I found this out later on after. Because he just moved a little differently,
right.
And woman's intuition, I'm like, something ain't right. So I kind of tippy-toed off the scene. I got out when I could, and then come to find out, a girl that he had us actually hanging out at the same time in the same places, and that was his girlfriend.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then come to find out, I get an email from her. And again, we're me and this fella, we're not talking anymore,
Okay.
But she reaches out to me via email and pretty much kind of
let me
know everything. She was like, girl, and I just found out, I saw the emails between you and him and blah, blah, blah. But
was it heartbreaking or no?
At that point, no, because I was already out. I felt for her,
Oh, wow.
But again, it wasn't an experience that I regret. I don't regret losing my virginity to him at all.
Okay.
I went up to DC several times while dating him because he was from Atlanta, but he moved to DC for a little bit.
Okay.
So I got to visit DC a few times, fell in love with that city, but I had fun, so I don't regret anything.
Right,
it was
right.
a learning experience. He was still my friend at the end of the day.
Right.
Like he just was on some fuck shit.
I think everything that we go through, we have to look at it like that, as a learning experience. I was just talking to another friend of mine. I was telling her, like, I was very wise for a young girl. And the reason why I was very wise for a young girl, because I had to deal with some fuck shit early on. That prepares you. Like, if you don't have to deal with no fuck shit until you're like 25, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah,
like, if you go through it early, you're more wise to know and different things.
Sometimes, because, you know, you still got
there's some girls that don't learn.
You know, I mean, it's
Thank God I wasn't one of those. But oof. Yeah, I definitely, you know, as terrible as my first was, he made it so much harder for the next to try to run game or try to do anything that could really get past me, you know?
Yeah.
How do you identify sexually?
I mean, I don't.
You don't?
I mean, like,
I don't really either.
I mean, because it's like I love men. I love black men.
Right.
You know, but I can appreciate a woman.
Right.
You know, I think women are absolutely beautiful. I think women are absolutely sexy, but and I wouldn't even say that I'm not attracted to them.
Right.
But I don't know if it's sexually attracted to them.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So I mean, you know.
You know what's crazy though?
I dig who I dig, you know.
When I was doing this show, I was looking up all these different sexualities, because, you know, all these new sexualities are now becoming popular with the pansexual, the demisexual.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't roll my eyes.
But okay, let me tell you about this. So I looked it up. It's like over 25 sexualities.
It's ridiculous.
Right? It's like so many. But what I will say about that is, like, so I came across this sexuality called gray sexuality, right? And it's kind of like exactly what the word is. It's like you're in the gray area or whatever. And it's like in between asexual, which asexual has a lot of different levels too as well. People think it's just people who hate sex, and that's people who can be asexual but just have sex.
Yeah, people say I'm asexual, but it's like I'm not. I don't hate sex. I'm not opposed to sex, but I don't need it.
Right, and that's why I'm saying this, because I used to feel weird, or people used to make me feel weird, because I'm like that too. I do not need sex. Yes, there's times where I enjoy sex, but it's not like a major thing that I need. And so I used to feel like weird, you know, because all the girls was like, oh, I need it, you know?
I never understood that.
And so when I started to read the different sexualities, it made me feel better about, like, oh, there's other people like this too. So I think that it's good to educate on the different sexualities, because I always felt weird until I read that. I'm like, it's people like this, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So
I get that. That makes sense. Okay.
Moving on. So we do this thing. Okay. We do this thing. Let's see. Where should I start? Okay, let me just go back to a time. This is my friend, so I'm just bringing up tea that y'all don't know about.
Oh boy.
So there was a time when we were younger, and you was like giving this dude energy. I think his name was King. Was he calling himself King?
No, but we will not talk about names.
Okay, my bad.
No.
Oh, okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, that sounded like what he would call himself, because he was definitely thought a lot of himself.
Which he should have.
Okay, I never met this guy at all.
This man's pretty great. Still is, even greater.
Ooh,
but,
okay.
He is.
Well, tell us about him.
You talking about
I'm talking about. Okay, so let me finish. So she was entertaining this guy who was like with some polygamy stuff, and at the time I was like too young to even comprehend like anything like that. Since then, my views have definitely changed 100%. But tell us about how did you get tied into somewhat, because it's not orthodox, you know. And so I think for us too, we were young, we're black, it kind of wasn't a normal kind of thing. How did you even start considering and giving energy to that situation? And tell us about it.
Well, okay, so I mean, yeah, I was young, but
yeah, we were young.
I wasn't like high school young.
No, we were like 25.
Okay, yeah, it was around then. And this was a time when maybe I had been living in Atlanta for maybe 3 years at this point, 3 or 4 years at this point. And I had been doing a lot of photo shoots. And this fella in particular, he would either always be around or in some of the photo shoots or something like that. So, you know, like, we started hanging out just like a little bit, you know, nothing too tough, but we was giving each other rhythm. But, you know, it just, the question just came up, you know, it wasn't like, you know, man, I'm giving you till then to figure this out, you know, it just kind of came up like, what are your views on this? You know, like, how would you feel? And when he first asked me that, I was kind of taken back, you know, and I'm like, because I never really thought about it.
Right.
You know,
right.
like, I mean, yeah, you
Such
see it on TV.
Concept. Yeah, but for us
Utah,
back then,
you know, like heavy in it. But, you know, it's just, it's, and Muslim, I know they have multiple wives, you know.
Yeah, true.
In the Muslim religion, but anyway, so he just presented the question to me like, would you be able to?
Yeah.
And, you know, I thought about it, and, you know, again, first time me thinking about it, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, you know. And then he just kind of explained everything, pretty much the power of having more than 2 people head of household, you know, bringing multiple incomes in, you know, back to that. You remember when we were talking about earlier about, you know, all these sayings, you know, it takes a village to, you know, that's one of those, still those old sayings that are also true, you know, it just takes a village, you know. So when you really think about it, you are really building your own empire.
Right,
you know?
Absolutely.
And, you know, but it takes a certain personality, it takes a certain individual in order to
be successful.
Yeah, because, you know, like, all feelings aside, jealousy, you know, like, you made her moan louder than I did, you know, like, you got to take all of that out the equation and look at the bigger picture, you know.
Right.
Which is everybody doing well, everybody elevating, you know, everybody just feeding off one of another, you know. So would I do it now?
Yes. But you didn't actually do it then.
No, I didn't do it then. I didn't do it then. But after he kind of like,
planted
kind
the
of,
seed.
yeah. I said, you know what? Maybe. Oh, and then also how he broke it down to me was, you know, say if you and I were together. He's talking to me. Say if you and I were together, and we started talking about, you know, bringing somebody else in.
Right.
It wouldn't be up to me. He's telling me this. It wouldn't be up to me. It would be your choice.
Exactly.
Yes,
and I'll
to find someone, you know, and
that's the way that you have to do it. I talked to another gentleman who practiced that as well, and he says the same thing. Even in my own household, like, it would never be up to you. It would always be up to me.
Have you seen Seeking Sister Wives?
Seeking Sister Wives?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, Mary.
I haven't seen it.
You gotta get into it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. So yeah, no, I definitely, if I could find a chick that was like, who was like-minded, who was a go-getter, who was driven, who was funny. I don't like boring chicks. I've noticed that. Like, when I didn't realize that girls can be boring until I got older. I'm like, hey.
But what's boring? Like,
boring,
like no conversation. You really don't laugh a lot.
You really don't laugh like that. Don't know how to tell a good joke. Just blah. You know?
Who does like those kind of people?
I just, you know.
Or maybe people can tolerate those type of people.
Or people who want to be the center of attention, I think, like those types of people who can just, be the center, you know?
Oh, I got some of those friends too. It's like, take a breath, man. Like, shit. Anyway, off topic.
I have to find her super sexy. But if I could get all of that and she was down, like, help me clean up around here. You know what I'm saying? Help me.
You better get down to the important things.
Let me keep this motherfucker clean. Tuesdays and Thursdays is your day.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Yeah.
But yeah.
And then it would work best for me because, and for you, it sounds like, because Yeah, sex, we like it, but we don't need it. So it's like, you know, if
take care.
Jennifer wants to come along and,
you know, go ahead and do that. You know, so yeah, I'm definitely all the way down with that. Just it's so crucial to find the right partner. You know,
for sure. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Now we also have. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. We also have the Toxic Dick of the Year award, and we're gonna award some. Excuse me. God darn. We're gonna award somebody at the end of the season, whoever deserves it the most. Do you have a story? I know you just said you haven't really had any toxic dick, but is there any story you can give us that, you know, may help someone else identify those red flags?
Well, you know,
or what are red flags for you?
What is toxic dick?
Okay, let me tell you what toxic dick is for me, and this is my definition. It could be totally different for someone else. I always consider toxic dick is mind games, and that's mind games where it's like you kind of don't know where you stand with this person. It's like, damn, he likes being around me a lot, but then you kind of like, what are we? But then you or then he does make you feel like you're his, but then he'll introduce you as his friend. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, to me, that's toxic. But it could be a lot of different things that are toxic. But that's just what comes to me off top. Is someone who just who plays a lot of mind games.
See, I haven't necessarily had that. Like, if it was a jump off, it was just going to be a jump off.
Right.
And, you know, like, ain't nobody's feelings involved.
Right.
But, like, somebody that...
Any sneaky link stories for us?
Sneaky link.
Yes. Sneaky links.
Okay, so I don't even know what a sneaky link is, but
So what's the story about then?
Okay, so I know okay, so boom, going back to me liking, enjoying sex, but I could really go without it. You know, this last fella that I dealt with, and I never even told you this, but he was a 2-minute fella.
Ooh, 2 minute?
Sometimes less.
Did you put the timer on? Because I've done it before. Are you just saying 2 minute, or did you?
No,
I didn't
put the timer on. I didn't put the timer on.
Motherfucker,
but it was more than one occasion when he nutted on my back before I even put it in.
What?
Yeah.
What was his excuse?
I'd like to say his name out loud. I'm just... I can't.
What was his excuse? What did he say?
Well, in the beginning, it was just like, you know, like, fuck, I'm sorry, I'm just excited.
So excited.
You know, right. And then here we are, like, a year into it, and you're still fucking excited, you know, so.
Is that what ended the situation?
No.
Okay.
No. It's just, you know, we just.
So we're going to call him 2 minutes.
Break me up.
Yeah.
Show me what you got.
Okay, I got a story that I
got another story.
Okay, because I got some stories that I want you to tell the audience that I know about that could make for good Pussycat Chronicles.
I have another story.
Go ahead.
And you don't know this story
Okay,
either.
well, tell it to me.
So, again, back to not really needing to have sex.
Right.
So in my lifetime, I would take these sabbaticals.
Yes, you would.
Yes, I would take these long sabbaticals from sex. So I remember one time, it was this fella that I was working with, and
okay, go ahead.
Well, maybe I did tell you.
Oh yeah, your boss?
No.
Okay.
And I should punch you in your mouth for that shit. The fuck?
Okay, go ahead.
That shit, you better edit that shit out.
Okay, go ahead.
The fuck? No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it's this guy that I used to work with, and you know, like me and work relationships, like I don't really do, you know. I hang out.
So they can't get your Instagram.
I mean, that's one thing, you know,
okay.
like, but I just don't do the romantic thing really at at the job. You know, I can count. If I was a 3-handed man, I can count on one hand.
Okay.
You know, how many instances that was. But anyway, so I was on one of my sabbaticals, and I think at this point it had been like maybe 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And so me and this guy, we were like hanging out pretty tough. Mm-hmm. And he was my mind friend.
Your mind friend? What do you mean?
I don't want to break that down.
No, break it down. We can't just be like, what the hell is a mind friend? Other people that's watching and me too. What is a mind friend?
We just explored each other's minds.
I'm trying to just see, like, how? Just give me an example. Explore my mind right quick so we can see what mind friends are.
Okay, so this was a fella that I got high with every day.
Okay.
So, you know, like we would
I have high talk.
Yes.
Okay, got you.
So,
okay.
And then, you know, drink, and, you know, like we would just enjoy each other's company, have fun, you know,
right.
Lots of laughs, you know. And then he was already kind of attracted to me, but me not really. Like, he was a cute guy. I'm not even gonna say handsome, but he was cute, like a gay cute, you know.
Okay.
So started hanging out, and I started, you know, catching little feelings, you know, like, damn, you know, kind of cute, you know.
Right.
So anyway, every now and then he would stay the night over my house, I believe. And it would be nothing. But this one night, kind of things got a little heated in my bed. and so I'm, you know, and I'm just like, look, I haven't had sex in like 3 or 4 years, you know, so it's like, you know, and this isn't the first time that I've done this, you know, so I've like taken a break, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like I know how it feels the next time, you know. So it's just like, so anyway, I don't know. One thing maybe leads to another, and you'll understand why I say this. I woke up. Okay. And he tells me, see, it wasn't that bad. And I don't remember
it at all.
No, I didn't. Because, you know, you can feel like when you've had sex afterwards.
But was he drunk?
No.
And you don't remember having...
I think he just had a pencil dick.
Yo, that's happened to me, but let me tell you, this one time, yeah, I had sex with this guy one time. Well, actually, I actually felt raped in that moment. I didn't want to have sex.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Okay, but go ahead.
This guy who liked me, he was giving me oral sex, and I was like, okay, I'm good, and he was like, no, you're not good yet. Anyways, I felt like I had to have sex with him to get out the room, so I was just like, all right, you got 2 minutes. And I never saw his penis, and it felt like a freaking finger. It was so freaking small. Yeah. Yeah, so I've had that experience too. But have you had experience where you felt raped too?
Well, okay. So that's what I wanted to mention. So I remember me and my good Judy. Hey, Megan. Me and my good Judy. We were. This was years ago. I guess Aziz Ansari, whatever that comedian's name is. I think he had a article or a post that he did. You know, mentioning, pretty much saying that there's a fine line between, you know, being raped and not being able to say no. And his argument is, you know, I think it was his argument. I think so. But he was just saying, like, just because, you know, it's a lot of times when women are in a situation where... we're in bed, it's getting there, you know, and you just go along with it because you don't want to say no. Right. And they're trying to label that rape. Okay. And I know she was on kind of his fence, but I'm like, but you still have the opportunity to say no, you know. but that's, I don't know, that.
No, I
that's
told him
different.
I was like, I'm good. He's like, no, you're not. I didn't hear you yet. And I guess I don't know if I didn't moan loud enough or whatever his idea of coming was.
Yeah.
I hadn't done it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm good. And he was like, no, you're not. And so I just knew, like, okay, you're not gonna let me out of here.
Yeah, that's a little different. Yeah.
But I do feel like even if you are kissing and rubbing and all of that, and you decide at any moment that's not what you want to do, you have the right to be like,
absolutely,
no,
absolutely.
I don't want to do this.
But if you are in that moment and you don't feel like you want to say no because you're taking ownership and you're taking part of this, kissing and hugging and like everybody's pheromones are like, woo,
and you let it continue. I don't believe that is right. No. Okay. And even with him, I felt raped, but I never even like. I felt raped, but I never. I don't know. It was like I was so cool with him afterwards, even though I felt raped. Mm-hmm. Because he was a very funny, cool dude. Like, this was my friend that he was attracted to me. And I don't know. I just like it was a weird situation, but I remember feeling violated. Yeah. So you live in Atlanta. So let's talk about dating in Atlanta. How cool or difficult is dating in Atlanta? Because I used to live in Atlanta too, so I kind of know a little bit about the dating scene in Atlanta. I actually didn't date that much in Atlanta when I was in Atlanta. I only dated like 2 dudes out there. But how would you describe the dating scene in Atlanta? And do you have trouble dating?
It's difficult.
Out there?
It's difficult. There is a everybody knows a huge gay population, gay male population out there. So you have that factor as far as men, and then you have this particular group who's also down low,
right? Which is a large percentage as well.
Yeah, I ain't want to go there, but
no, it's a large percentage.
I mean, it is. Whether they're married, because I've had some personal friends who've found these men on Craigslist and they got a whole fat wife and family at home. Just to meet up at a hotel to do what he can't do with his wife. Yeah. So. Have
you had any situations where you had suspicions of somebody that was on the deal, or you know how to vet that out? Or you're not even attracted to anything remote? No, she's a strong woman, so I imagine you have to.
Yeah, man, you got enough if you buck, man. Yeah. Like, no,
So, no, that's not been your experience.
I need somebody that's gonna look like they're gonna go boom, like me through the wall. I don't want that, but look like that.
Okay. So.
But dating in Atlanta, I mean, it can be a little difficult,
Even the straight men out here is 10 women to every 1 man out there.
And then there's that, there's that. So it's like, so even if you do, find yourself dating someone, just kind of know that you're not the only one.
Yeah, especially if they got bread.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like accepted. If the dude have money, you have already accepted the fact that you're not the only one. I feel like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I also, like there's a guy with bread, that's not flashy with it.
Yeah.
And that's my steez, like, cause if you like to, hey, look at me, just kind of be discreet and be humble with your riches, like, like
be humble with your riches.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it is difficult, but I'm also difficult. I'm super shy. So it's like I get hit on often, but sometimes I don't reciprocate it. Sometimes I don't want to reciprocate it. Sometimes I don't know how to, So it's just kind of like I freeze up and, I just kind of like recluse a little bit. So I'm just, I'm a different individual in Atlanta and is dating. Like I'll do Bumble, but I'll also not say anything on Bumble because women
right, because Bumbles are the
women
girls
have to say something.
Yeah,
right? You know.
Okay.
But it have to be like something in particular. Like you have to like super swipe or not even super swipe, but extend it. And I'm like, okay, you know, like because you only have 24 hours to say something.
Okay. And what has that been the best online dating out there? You think Bumble?
I can't say the best because I hadn't been on really nothing. You know, I never did Tinder or I don't know what the fuck, Facebook,
Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, OkCupid.
Yeah. No. So I don't know. I guess Bumble, with me being in control, it works for me.
Okay. Have you met some good dudes off Bumble?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have a couple. We're still friends.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it just you know the dating thing didn't work out, but you know,
and
we
why?
still think each other's fly.
Why didn't it work out?
Well, one guy in particular, he just didn't ever want to do anything. And, you know, at the age that I am, you know, like, I can do shit by myself all the time.
Right, you travel by yourself. This girl travels, like, to other countries by herself, so.
Yeah, you know, so it's like, I want somebody that I can enjoy some shit with, you know, just do stuff with, you know, other than just my friends, you know.
Got you.
But he didn't want to do nothing, like, go out. It was just like, you know, I'm coming. What you cooking? I'm coming to your house. You know, type shit. Or, you know, because everybody knows that I enjoy cooking. It's like one of my, you know. But it's just like.
Yeah, we need more. So than just
finally, I think.
house dates,
I think I got fed up, and I was just like, look. And he was just like, damn, Empress. And I was like, well, this has been a build.
So it's time for a confession. It can be something that you've never done before, so it can be a fantasy that you have that you've never done. It can be something that a lot of people don't know about you, but it is time for a confession.
You didn't tell me this part in a second. I'll tell you one thing that I've probably wanted to do with a partner.
Okay. Ooh.
And never did.
What's that?
Was just role playing. You know.
You know what? You're right. I haven't did role playing either with Kareem. Like,
really?
Not really. Like, you're right. I want to do some role playing.
Yeah.
I want to meet him somewhere out.
Yeah.
And do some role playing.
Yeah.
That's fun. I'm about to do that. Yeah, you're right. That is so fun.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Give us, what are your red flags when you're dating? Tell me 3 red flags if somebody does, you're like, Because this could help someone else.
The whole first date, you know, come to my house, come to your house.
Ooh, that is a red flag.
I'm just like,
yes.
How old are you?
We're cheap. We're not trying to spend any bread.
Like,
I mean, I don't want to sound bad about that, but that's just how I take that.
But not only that, it's like we don't even know each other.
Right.
Yeah, you want my address?
Space, yeah. And
you know,
could
like
be crazy.
Right. And I'm just, you know, I won't even let anybody really pick me up.
Right. Right.
You know, like I'm meeting you out until I'm comfortable.
Right.
You know?
Right. Absolutely.
So that's definitely one.
That is definitely a red flag. Okay.
I don't know if I would call this a red flag, but I know I stopped texting someone when when I had to ask this question. I'm like, hey, do you travel much? And he was like, yeah, I travel all the time. I was like, well, tell me, what are some of your favorite destinations? He told me Jacksonville, Florida.
That is not a red flag, but
and that was the last time.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Jacksonville, Florida, and you live in Atlanta.
That's one of your favorite locations, but I'm no
And you
judgment.
live in Georgia, though.
Yeah. We don't need to broaden his whole.
Yeah, you know, like, I don't know. I just, I meet and I evaluate as I'm in it. So I don't know if I have like a Rolodex of red flags, Like there's certain things that I wouldn't. I don't know if I wouldn't date anybody who didn't have a car. Maybe if they lived like in the city. Yeah.
What about would you date an atheist?
No.
No? I don't know if I would. I mean, I don't know. I don't really look down on people.
I don't look down on them, but you have to have some type of belief, you you can't just think that, we just dropped out of nowhere.
Right. But what if he doesn't think we just dropped out of nowhere?
But has a scientific kind of... I don't know. I would have to cross that, yeah.
Well, me personally, one of my red flags that you guys should definitely, for women, I think that it's a good red flag that's always helped me through is when I go on dates, or when I used to go on dates, and men just talked about themselves. They wanted to be the center of attention and didn't really ask me anything or really interested in anything in me. Yeah. That is a super red flag, women. Especially if you want a man who's going to be catering to your feelings or your needs or anything like that. If you go on a date with a dude and a dude is telling you all about himself and a date is really revolving about him talking about himself, that is a red flag. Get the fuck up out of there. Yeah. Do not call him back no more. Every time I've ever picked that up with people, not even with my own dates, but just when friends introduce me to a dude and it's their dude, every time I've ever picked that up, that guy has never been the guy. Yeah. So I think that's a major
good one, though.
Red flag if that I think that we don't really pay attention to, because certain red flags are obvious, like kind of like, if he doesn't treat his mom well, that's kind of like an obvious red flag. But things like that, I think sometimes women, especially if the guy's attractive or if he has a so-called exciting life, you can kind of fall victim into that and not pick up that. And I think it's a narcissist trait. And or another red flag too is something called love bombing, where you've only been dating this guy a few days and he's already telling you he loves you and how this and this and this and this that. I'm not saying every single time, but lots of times it's a red flag.
I've had that too.
Yeah. And so in that situation, was it a red flag? What was up with the guy?
You remember the married guy that I was saying?
Yeah. Oh, he's like that? Yeah. Or right away? And let me tell you why I think he's like that, because this what happened to my sister too with the married guy. Same situation, love bombed her, right? But we didn't know he was married. Then of course that comes out, and I said that's why he was love bombing you. He knew that you were gonna find this out, and he wanted you to already be wrapped up in the emotion of.
I knew day one.
Yeah, you knew day one.
Yeah, I knew day one. I knew day one he was married.
Yeah, and so I think that even if you know day one, that's a strike against him. So what do chicks love? We love compliments, and honestly, we love to be told I love you. If we just keep it 100, we do.
Want to be loved, want to be cared about.
Yeah, we love attention. We want all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think that men who know that they have something that's gonna work against them, that might like a girl, they tend to love bomb because they want to already submit those emotions back from the girl. So I hope you guys enjoyed another night with us with Pussycat Chronicles. And until next time, what's the deal? Keep it real. See you soon. Peace.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.